Hello everyone. Today's video covers IR35 status disagreements. As you'll know from other content on this portal, from the 6th of April 2021 onwards, end clients must determine the tax status or IR35 status of any PSC contractors they use. Under the current IR35 rules in force in the private sector, individual PSCs decide their own status for tax purposes. So these new off-payroll rules, as they are called, really represent a significant change. Because clients will be determining status and because of the impact on a PSC contractor's take-home pay, depending on the client's status decision, there's a strong likelihood that PSC contractors may disagree with the client's decision about their tax status. Every contractor will be affected slightly differently depending on their personal circumstances, but most PSC contractors will experience a 20 to 25% reduction in take-home pay if they're deemed to be inside IR35. Because of that, the off-payroll rules include an obligation on clients to implement a status disagreement process that allows the PSCs affected or the agency who pays the PSC affected to object to or challenge the client's determination. Now, there's no prescribed format of the disagreement process, but there are some minimum requirements that the client must do or implement for the process to be considered valid. So what must the client do? Well, they must consider the workers or the agency's representations, that is, the challenge and the reasons for the challenge. They must respond to the challenge within 45 days of receipt. They must inform the worker or the agency that as a result of the challenge, the client has either decided the original SDS was correct and why, or confirm that the client has changed its mind, in which case the previous SDS must be withdrawn and a new one provided. The new SDS must contain the status determination, that is, whether the assignment is inside or outside IR35, and the reasons for the determination, and of course the client must have taken reasonable care when making the new determination. Realistically though, a few contractors will challenge a determination that is outside IR35, so the process is most likely to be used for any assignments that are deemed to be inside IR35. And the timing of the status disagreement process is somewhat problematic in itself, in the sense that for current contractors, that is, those who are working now and their current assignment continues past the 6th of April, well, those PSCs will need to receive their status determination statements well in advance of the go-live date so that appropriate changes can be made to assignments and contracts and future payments. But clients aren't required to have implemented a challenge process until the 6th of April when the new legislation goes live. So for those current contractors who are given an SDS weeks or months ahead of the off-payroll rules taking effect in the private sector, there's no immediate recourse. Those PSC contractors will have to wait until after the 6th of April to issue their challenge to the SDS. Future roles, that is ones that commence after the 6th of April, well, they're likely to have the status determined at the point at which the vacancy is released by the client, meaning that the role will be advertised as being either inside or outside IR35. At least that's what happened in the public sector, and I honestly think it will be the same in the private sector. If an assignment is advertised with a certain status, well, a potential contractor who doesn't like that status generally just won't apply for the role rather than go to the trouble of actually challenging it. Having said all that, It's really important for clients to ensure they have implemented a proper process, regardless of whether it's often used or not, because HMRC will surely request sight of that challenge process if and when they conduct a compliance check on that client business in relation to their compliance with the off-payroll rules. And if that client doesn't have a process, or if it doesn't include the minimum requirements that we've already mentioned, well, this could be evidence of a lack of reasonable care taken by the client in their compliance of the new rules. And that in turn can expose the client to all of the tax and national insurance liabilities for all of the PSCs it has engaged. So make sure you put a process in place. Make sure it's clearly communicated within your business and to any agencies or PSCs that you engage with, and make sure it includes those minimum requirements. Thanks for listening.